What's up, everyone, and welcome. In this episode, we're going to talk about yet another crypto company having issues keeping money safe. This time, it's not due to a hack, but due to a botched update or upgrade of their system that had the system hand out $90 million to users.
Oh, drat these computers. They're so naughty and so complex. I could pinch them.
Compound, an Ethereum-based decentralized finance platform, accidentally gave out $90 million to its users in a botched upgrade. Now the owners would appreciate it if they got their money back. Compound might even be willing to throw in a 10% reward, it said. On the flip side, those who don't return the money could be doxxed or be reported to the Internal Revenue Service. Compound's founder and comptroller, Robert Leshner, threatened over Twitter. In case you don't know what doxing means, to dox someone means to search for and publish private and identifying information about a particular individual on the internet, typically with malicious intent. Hackers and online vigilantes routinely dox both public and private figures. Now, after getting roasted as a loser or a moron, and frankly, far worse, Leshner apologized, but the damage seemed to have already been done among the crypto community. Cooperation with the feds goes against everything crypto stands for, a user replied to Leshner. Doxing people and ratting them out to the IRS, knowing that the agency will use the threat of violence to collect taxes, is even worse. Another user put it more bluntly in his response to Leshner. You torched your trust equity with me, buddy. Mr. Delete Button tweeted, I won't be using Compound anymore and will be encouraging everyone I know in the space and who is entering the space to avoid you and your product.
The people of Earth remain united in my refusal to hand over myself. Total annihilation is a small price to pay compared with...
Ouch. Now, Leshner said it was all a misunderstanding. The tweet was taken out of context. It meant to suggest that, unlike a black hat attacker, mostly the addresses that had received comp incorrectly were active users of Coinbase, FTX, Binance, etc. that had their information. Leshner explained to Threatpost, the Compound interface is hosted on IPFS and collects zero user information whatsoever. The tweet was taken out of context. Dude, it's a tweet. You got 280 characters. Now, what context can there be in that short message? Does this guy really think that our brains are so fried that we don't even know what context means? Or maybe he's just hoping that people will just brush it off. Like, oh, he said it's out of context. Okay, yeah, okay. Anyway. Just 24 hours after Leshner's September 30th tweet, Compound's native currency token comp had lost 13% of its value, Bleeping Computer noted. And according to Coinbase, the price of Compound is down 10.99% over the past 7 days. Comp tokens from the user incentive pool were misallocated as a result of the bug, Leshner told Threatpost.
What the hell is that thing?
It appears to be the mothership.
Then what did we just blow up?
The Hubble telescope.
So that's what happened. They did an upgrade, and somehow $90 million worth of comp tokens out of their user incentive pool were misallocated to users. He added that 163,000 comp tokens have already been returned, and 183,000 are still missing. That means the platform is still missing roughly $60 million at today's comp price. Community developers have submitted a patch to token holders to approve, which fixes the underlying issue and resumes the comp distribution properly, Leshner said. Now, just a few weeks ago, fellow DeFi platform Poly Network was ripped off of a stunning $610 million. Ultimately, the entire amount was returned by the attacker, dubbed Mr. White Hat by the Poly Network negotiators. They eventually offered Mr. White Hat a job as Poly Network's chief security officer to recoup the stolen cryptocurrency. Mr. White turned down the gig and instead said the breach was intended as a security lesson for the DeFi community, which obviously, as we see from this breach here, or this, error, really wasn't taken seriously. Now, Cream Finance, DeFi platform, was also hit by attackers over the past several weeks and robbed of $29 million in AMP coin. That's another event that I did an episode about. The big difference with the Compound situation is that no crime was committed. This was a blundering error on their part. There was no hack. So Poly Networks and Cream Finance were victims of cybercrime, but Compound just mistakenly gave the crypto away. Unlike other recent losses of cryptocurrency, this was not due to hacking or criminal activity, Jake Williams with BreachQuest told ThreatPost. In this case, the root cause was a bug introduced in a software upgrade. He added, the threat to Dox users was a bit overblown. While Leshner walked that back, it's hard to see how that doesn't hurt Comp's public persona well into the future, Williams added. To avoid issues like this, operations teams should threat model any operational bugs that threaten the viability of the platform instead and review each of these situations before any deployment. Perhaps this is a huge warning sign that decentralized finance isn't secure enough to be trusted, another researcher added. The complete lack of central authority in cryptocurrency has been used as an excuse by companies to sit on their hands while their users get their life savings plundered, John Bambanek from NetRich explained to ThreatPost. Now that Compound discovered that the same sword cuts the other way, they're shocked, I tell you, but there's nothing they can do about it. If Compound can't implement basic financial controls to detect and prevent this, I have very little confidence that other forms of fraud are not far behind on targeting their platform, the researchers. Now, I have been saying for a while that crypto technology itself is extremely secure and a great gift from whoever really created it, but just because crypto as a technology is secure does not mean that boneheads won't try to build something using it and ultimately build a Swiss cheese solution filled with vulnerabilities or defects that can adversely affect you as a user or the company itself for, say, $90 million. So what did we learn? In this case, no money from users was stolen, like in the Poly Network and the Cream attacks, but this debacle caused the price of the coins to plummet 13%, making a lot of people lose money. So people are users are still affected. It also tarnishes the brand and potentially keeps it from ever reaching a valuation that investors were potentially hoping to achieve. So who knows? Maybe some lawsuits might come out of this that could potentially stop this currency dead in its track. So you have to take security extremely seriously, no matter who you are, what company you have. So how do we translate this event into our security solutions? Well, the main thing we can do, or we can take away, is that we need to be 100% sure we have tested our features and technologies to ensure they do what we expect. Developing and just pushing right to production is a very bad idea. Each feature needs to have a test protocol as well as a risk assessment to make sure we know what other systems or other code could be affected by the deployment of this new feature. And yes, there are large features and there are small features. But even a small feature can have adverse effects on the entire system, whether it be a security vulnerability or something that transfers, I don't know, $90 million to people's accounts when it shouldn't. This is how serious and why we need these protocols, why we need this documentation in place, and why we have to follow this rigorously or vigilantly so that our systems don't either hand out $90 million or hand out the keys to the kingdom. With that, I say thanks for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't already, and smash the bell if you haven't already. And I will see you on the next episode. Take care.